So I just picked, this orange, and they have some grays and they have some whites. But I'm thinking more if they have this background photo here. And this website is not really great for like selling. I can tell just by being in this industry for a while, but it's not really like, for example, this is a color. Even things like this, like these colors, but we'll get into that later on. Again, in the conversion rate optimization, once we actually have some apps installed and such like that. Cool. So that's the color palette. So before we finish the color palette portion and get into the pages portion, I also want to go over a few other ways of like viewing this content. So that was the theme settings. That's like the settings for every tab and every other option. But we also have like another way of viewing the same information, and that's sections. So this breaks down all the sections of the website. So we can see our menus. We can see home, cardio equipment, strength training, recovery, and best price policy. You can see that I put those here. And this is what we're going to get into now. Actually, before we do that, let me show you one other thing. So we have our home page here. Right now we're working on the home page. We can also go to our product pages and click default product, and we can work on our product pages. We can see our collection pages and just our pages in general. Also, you can see our blogs, our cart page, our checkout page, and so we can go, for example, let's say we're not going to do it now, but let's say I wanted to optimize my product page, just for example. Then I can click on that. Boom, it's going to take me right to the product page. And then this sections tab is going to give me all the different sections on the page. And then again, so I can make adjustments to sections individually. It's just multiple ways of really it's displaying the same boxes that are under the theme settings, but sometimes you can get like a little more granular or a little more dialed in when you read it like this. So there's a few ways of getting to the same information. So we can, and sometimes, I don't think on the product page, but in here you won't see anything, but sometimes you'll have additional options show up here. So sometimes the colors will show up, or if you want to change some text. Again, my product pages aren't optimized yet. We're going to do that next, but I wanted to just show, different ways of getting back to the home page. Boom. Okay, I'm back on the home page. And then this is again, a breakdown of the home page and the different sections on the page. I'd recommend keeping these sort of sections. This is a good section, this is a good section, this is a good section, and then the main desktop, the main kind of hero photo here, we're not going to do a slideshow. We're just going to do one photo. The slideshow just doesn't convert as well as a static photo here. So again, this is all conversion rate optimization stuff, so we're not going to get into that. We need to build the structure before we add in the veins and the blood. Right now we're just building the skeleton. We're going to add skin, we're going to add makeup, we're going to add, a nice hairstyle. We're going to add all these things, but right now we just got to build the skeleton first. So another thing to notice on this page is we have the option to click up here, desktop versus mobile. So obviously this theme will include a mobile site, so we can look at how things look differently based on the changes we make, mobile versus desktop. So this is the basis of that. Also, remember that some settings are going to be different for mobile compared to desktop. For example, what do I mean by that? You will see here that the hero image is for desktop. That's this main image. But then also we have our mobile. So we could potentially have a different image for mobile than we had for desktop. So there are going to be some options. Remember, when you're making adjustments, like if you look at mobile and you look at desktop and they're different, it could be that there's different options in the settings for whether it's mobile or desktop. So keep that in mind. And then additionally, here's an example of what might show up on the right-hand side. So for ease, if we click here, then we have options for this is if you want to move the photo left, and have different images on a slideshow. I don't recommend that. Have it a static image. And then we'll get into how to optimize what image. I don't think, I may or may not keep this image here, but I just use it as a placeholder for now. So, and then you can change colors there's a lot of options. So you can see here that we have different options that show up based on what we select. Okay, so step one, colors. Get your colors on the site, adding the color palettes. So once we have the color palettes organized, then we're going to go into when I do this, my little recording thing blocks it there. Okay, so we're gonna get into the pages. All right. So once this is after we've had our color palettes established. The site is not gonna, at that point, it's not gonna look like what you see here, but it is gonna be like the colors will be correct. We'll have a nice pattern. Don't go crazy on this because you can always change it later, right? Just set something up that you think, might look nice. Just get some, get some basic ideas, and then you can always change it. Like, for example, this site is not done yet, so I might change things around completely by the time it's finished, right? I'm just working on it, and it's an evolving project. Keep that in mind. So now we're going to go into how to set up your pages. Okay, so let's, first of all, below this video, there's going to be the template for all the pages. And these are pages that you've seen previously, right? We have our About Us page, we have our shipping and returns page, terms of service, and we're also going to have our 100% best price policy. Now, what the best price policy is, this is a policy that dictates that you will price match. Now, there's some rules on price matching, okay? Number one, like, we're not going to do price matches to physical storerooms, or to eBay, or to buy one get one free. So we're only gonna do price matching for other authorized retailers selling the same exact product. And we'll get into this more, but you can also just read this price match policy and understand kind of what it is and how it works. But this is something that really will boost, again, we're getting into the conversion portion already. You can see how closely linked the site and conversions are, because people come to the site to buy. So we want to make sure that we, are constantly updating it to be maximal setup for conversions, maximally set up for conversions. Cool. So read this best price policy. We're going to display this a lot on the site. It's a really powerful tool. Again, you can copy and paste this. The link is right below in the under this video. So download all 3 of these files, and then we're going to be using these. I think we already have the shipping returns and terms of service and privacy. But we have our About Us as well. Okay, so copy those. So now we're going to set up our pages and our navigation, our product collections, our mega menus, and let's just focus on these 3 for now, or 4 rather. So let's. I'm going to save any edits that I had made. Again, if you X out of this, make sure you save it before you X if you want to save any changes.